Hi, and welcome to Camille's Country Corner. I am Camille, and on today's episode, we will be making some cookie cutouts. Today we're making gingerbread men, and we will also be making some sugar cookies. These are both for Christmas, both favorite recipes of ours. And let's go ahead and get started. But before we get started baking, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit that like button. All right, let's get baking. This is what we will need for our first recipe. We are going to be using cinnamon, cayenne, ginger, allspice, some nutmeg, some salt and pepper for both of this, a couple of eggs, flour, sugar, baking powder, baking soda, molasses, and butter. Let's put this together. All right, to our bowl, I have 3/4 cup of just regular granulated sugar. We're going to add 1 stick of unsalted butter. Mine is actually salted, so I'll be using less salt when I cream it together, but this is at room temperature. We're going to go ahead and cream that together. We're going to add 1 egg. I actually have 2 eggs out because I'm going to double my recipe, but I don't double it until I actually make 2 separate ones because I find sometimes doubling a recipe changes the consistency, and I don't like that. Now, I think I forgot to mention these are extra spicy gingerbread cookies. Okay, I am going to be adding a half of, let me see, I think it's a 1/2 cup of molasses. And I did spray my cup first because it just makes it easier to get it out. I am using the unsulfured. All right, this jar is empty. Let me get a new one. Okay, here we go. Funny story, yesterday I dropped my molasses on the floor and it popped the top. And of course, I wasn't thinking that molasses does not need to be refrigerated, but I threw it in the refrigerator, so now it's very thick. Okay, go ahead and mix that. To my bowl, I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And now we are going to add all of our spice. So I need 3 tablespoons of ground ginger. Good enough. We like extra spicy, so it doesn't matter. 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. One tablespoon of black pepper. 1 teaspoon of salt. I am going to just use Probably about a half here, only because, well, maybe 3/4 of a cup or 3/4 of a teaspoon, because my butter was already salted. Okay, we need 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. We need a 1/2 teaspoon of allspice. We also need a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Here's where the extra spicy comes in. We need a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. If you don't like extra spicy, leave the cayenne out because it really does pack a punch. And now we need a 1/4 teaspoon of our baking powder. And because I saw some lumps in here from the flour, you could definitely sift all this, but when you run it through with a whisk, it usually breaks up your lumps. Okay, let's go ahead and start adding in our flour mixture. Actually, I'm going to dump it all in. It will probably splash back at me. Guess I should have had a towel or done this in halves. Okay, I don't have my bowl locked in, so let's fix that problem because this dough is a very thick dough. There we go. Okay, that is the consistency that we want. So we are going to wrap this into a disc and we're going to put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Or you could do this overnight. Okay, for the sugar cookie recipe, we are going to be using, let's flip over, 2 cups of sugar. I'm just using regular granulated sugar here. And we need 1.5 cups of butter. So I need one more stick. Hold on just one more moment. Okay, and if you did what I did, which I didn't take out enough butter, all you have to do is pop it in the microwave for about a minute on defrost. And it will soften your butter to as if you had it on the counter at room temperature. Okay, cream your butter and your sugar. And we're going to be adding 4 eggs here. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. 2 of the eggs going in. Other 2. Okay, to my bowl, I am going to add 5 cups of all-purpose flour. I know it seems like a lot, but this recipe, oh, let me get in another. This recipe makes 5 dozen cookies. My other recipe for the gingerbread, that actually made 8. That's supposed to make 18 4-inch gingerbread men. If you want them bigger, of course, you're going to get less cookies. That's why I doubled that recipe. But I did not double it when I just made it. I doubled it after, and you didn't see that one. And of course, we will need more flour for when we roll them out. We need 2 teaspoons of baking soda. No, I'm sorry, 2 teaspoons of baking powder right now. One teaspoon of salt. Let me just double check, make sure I've got everything in here. Guess this one does not call for baking soda. Okay. Again, you can sift your flour. I am not doing that. I'm going to add about 1/3 of my flour mixture. Put a tea towel around it because it still popped out. Wouldn't be baking if we didn't make a terrible mess, right? As I inhale our flour mixture. Okay, this was only one batch. Like I said, it makes 5 dozen cookies of your cutouts. I'm going to be making snowflake cookies today, but you can definitely do like your Santa Clauses, your bells, your snowmen, whichever cutouts you have for your Christmas holiday. Okay, that just went on the floor. Okay, again, we are going to wrap this in disc and we're going to stick it in the refrigerator until we're ready to bake, about 30 minutes or overnight. All right, now that we have all our doughs wrapped in discs, I'm going to go ahead and refrigerate them up to 30 minutes, probably longer than that, but definitely can go overnight and you can bake these in the morning. Now that our cookie dough has been sitting for well over an hour, maybe 2 hours, 3, not quite sure. It's been a few hours. We're going to go ahead and roll these out. Put a little bit of flour on our surface here. Don't need a lot. It's way more than I actually need. We're going to roll these out to about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch. Okay, I've got a 4-inch cutter here. And that's the thickness that you want. I will show you the cookie sheet before I toss it into the oven. Show you how I line them up. Okay, I've got 21 on here, so I'm guessing that when they said that it only makes 18 cookies, this is only my first batch. So far I have 21 cookies. We're going to put these in a 375-degree oven for about 9 to 12 minutes, depending on your oven. And then we will continue to bake these, and I'll bring you back once they're all done. Now we're going to roll out the sugar cookies. I should have scraped my rolling pin off because I do have some gingerbread still on here. And now I'm dotted with some gingerbread, so let's turn that over. Once you get sprinkles and some frosting on it, won't even taste that gingerbread that's on there. All right, we're going to use a circle. I'm just using a biscuit cutter here. Actually, this is a cookie cutter. And we want it about the same thickness, about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to go ahead and when you put these on the cookie sheet, you can put them right next to each other because these do not spread very much either. So again, at 375 for anywhere from 9 to 12 minutes, depending on your oven. And I will bring you back when we are ready to frost. We are going to start with the either ornament cookies or they're going to be snowflake cookies. So you go ahead and put a dollop of your frosting on. And I'm going to show you on just a couple of them. Now that I have frosted all of the cookies, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw some snowflakes. Let me see, I'll do one right here. Okay, there we go. I need to probably thin this out. Okay, I'm going to thin this out. Be right back.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I'm just going to continue to decorate these, and I'll bring you back once they're all finished. Now we're going to decorate some of the gingerbread men. I'm going to do 2 or 3 of them, and then I will bring you back when the rest of them are done. So we're going to put some eyes on here. My hand is probably in the way. Just put some decorative boots and a vest on them. And then we'll put some buttons. And I am using some cinnamon candies for his buttons. And I have some different things. I have some non-perils. I have some M&Ms. We're going to be using different things. Let me decorate one more and then I'll show you. I'm right-handed, so okay. This one I will use some red M&Ms. All right, so we have 2 different decorations here. Maybe I'll use some of the snow caps. I think that's what they're called, snow caps, non-perils, for his eyes. Make them look crazy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and decorate these up, and then I will bring you back. Okay, friends, this is what it looks like when they are all finished.